hop on. I missed last week, and man, everybody gave me so much grief. They were like, "Hey, what happened to the live show?" Well, we're back today, and we've got all this shut up money that you need to get. You need to get that first deal. We're all about that today. So today, welcome back to the live show. Welcome back. This is the Real Estate Wholesalers Club, and I'm Justin Chamness. We do have quite a few great people on the call here today from the Real Estate Wholesalers Club. By the way, if you want to be a part, it's so easy. All you have to do is go to realestatewholesalersclub.com. There you'll find us where you can hit the link to get our YouTube channel. You can hit the link to get our free group mentoring Facebook group. And there's where you're going to find the Zoom link. Wink, wink. Okay, if you want to jump on, come join us. This is open to anybody, everybody, not just private mentoring students or any of that stuff. So if you want to come on here, welcome. We welcome you. So anyway, today I've got a good group with us here. Let's just go ahead and introduce a few people on the call so you can see who's participating with us today. Michael, I think this is your first time with us here on the Zoom call. Is that right?
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, since I work nights, trying to come here is kind of tough. But I got a couple hours of sleep and I'm here. For all of you, I'm from the Plattsburgh, New York area. If you're not familiar with that, I'm a little bit north of the Adirondacks. You're probably familiar with Lake Placid, New York, where they had the Miracle on Ice. So that happened a while ago. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's cool. Well, welcome. For those of you who don't know, Michael, he didn't say this, but he is a one-on-one coaching student of mine, and he just got started with us, but he is now getting to the point of generating leads on demand.
Yes.
Working the pretty house wholesaling business, by the way.
Yes.
And then the next time I told him, I said, next time we get together, Michael, it's going to get real.
Yep. Starting to call, making the call.
Yeah. Getting on the phone, working on that $1 million skill, which is finding them real estate deals. And man, I'm excited about that. That's really what we spend a lot of time talking about over here at the Real Estate Wholesalers Club is how to get through the simplicity of it, man. I feel like a lot of people, and maybe you guys can chime in if you've had experience like this, but I feel like a lot of people have so much knowledge being jammed into their skulls from YouTube, from Periscope, from, this coach, that coach. And so they end up kind of just freezing up like, oh, I know so much, but I don't know what the first step is. I've seen the map of 1,000 miles, but where do I start? And so, that's what we're all about right here. And Michael, he's stepping through, man. He already started his journey. And I would bet on Michael.
Oh boy, that's a lot to take in there.
And I think he told me yesterday that he's a private individual, and so here I am putting him on blast. Sorry about that, Michael.
That's fine. That's fine.
What's going on, Kelly? Say hello.
Not much. Just here for the knowledge and needed something to do while I was eating my cereal.
Mm-hmm.
My Captain Crunch, remember?
Oh, you got Captain Crunch this morning?
No, but it sounded good. Beats reading the back of the box.
I've got this bottle of water.
There you go.
I didn't get no Captain Crunch, Mama. Mom, where's the Captain Crunch? I got to take the label off because I get tired of advertising for Price Chopper. It's free. Welcome, Kelly. Welcome, sir. Janet, say hello. Janet's going to wave at us. I wanted you to talk to us, Janet.
Hey, hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
You look fresh and spunky today. Did you get a lot of sleep last night? Did you rest well?
Yes, I did.
Well, that's good. She's working on it now. Let me tell you about Janet. She's working on a deal. Kelly, the guy that just spoke, he's working on a deal. Everybody here is working on deals. Are you working on a deal? I hope you are. If you're not, that's on you. Okay. So, yeah, I hear Janet back there giggling. So true. And welcome, Janet. Welcome. Glad you're here. I had a lot of fun this week in the Real Estate Wholesalers Club, the private mentoring chat. Man, the other day, it was just like, everybody was chiming in. I was having such a good time with it. On Wednesday night, we did that role play. I was exhausted during that role play, man. I was so tired. I was just fighting to get through it because I had been on the phone working my butt off all day. But George did a super good job role playing with me. We love to role play around here. In fact, that's what I want to do today. You guys want to role play with me? Y'all are looking at me like, what? On live? Yeah, on live. You want to role play? Let's talk about the seller conversation. Michael, I think this is going to be real big for you because you're about to break into this. But let's talk about the seller conversation. The seller conversation. We all know now, hanging out at the Real Estate Wholesalers Club, how to collect leads. It's super simple. And we use here the automated REI. Now, a lot of people use a lot of other things. That's fine. They work. A lot of good things out there, but we use the automated REI. The automated REI scrapes Zillow. It scrapes Craigslist. And then we are able to, with the same machine, text blast those in a simple message and get responses, and we get the yeses and the nos and the maybes. Now, that's my little trick on it. Okay. I always tell everybody, hey, when you send your text message out, don't forget to put a real simple yes, comma, no, comma, or maybe question mark. And you'll get responses. It's like people really are programmed kind of like to answer the question. So I always tell everybody put a yes, no, or maybe on the end. And I get loads and loads of responses. The students that do that get loads of responses that are just yes or maybe or no. I tell them, hey, throw the no's out. Don't talk to those guys. They don't want to talk about this. They're not interested. But the maybes and the yeses, you don't get any more clear than that. They already said yes. Okay, so it's not like picking up the phone book and, you know, doing one of these numbers. You open it up to some random page and then you, boop, there you go. Oh, I'm going to call Mr. John Smith. Let's give him a call. It's not like that at all, guys. Now, maybe 20 years ago it was that way, but or pretty close to that way. But nowadays, it's leads on demand. Leads on demand. It is an absolute game changer. And so we get those yes responses. What's the first thing that we have to do? Obviously, we have to text them because they texted. We texted them. They texted back yes. Now we have to text them something else. Like, where do we go from here? Well, I always encourage everybody to text them and ask them for a good time to talk on the phone and set an appointment with them that's on your schedule. Okay. Or call them immediately. One of the two. But definitely don't avoid the phone. And you want to know a crazy story? I got two of them. I might share just one with you, but I have seen with my eyes, I have seen it, and I didn't even have to be wearing my shades. I've seen guys get leads, get yeses, and then just sit there like, what do I say now? What do I do? I think I'm going to go watch some Netflix. I'm going to go Netflix and chill because I'm not all about calling these leads. And so that's what they do. And that's one thing I've seen. I've seen other times where people did get on the phone, and this, I really don't get this. They get on the phone, they talk with the homeowner, so they call the seller lead, and then they slip over into some kind of anxiety and fear mode after the conversation is over. And the homeowner said yes, not only on the text message, he said yes, but then he said yes on the phone. And the next step is to send out the agreement. And I've seen him say, I'll send that agreement out. I'll send that right out today. I'll get it right out to you. And then the next day comes and they still haven't sent it out. And then the next day comes and they still haven't sent it out. Isn't that whack? Can you imagine having somebody say yes? You call them, you get the deal, and all you have to do to get 50% of the way there on a wholesale lease options transaction. I mean, 50% of the way to this, you shut up money and then not call them. Oh, like that. Just stick it in me and twist it. It's crazy. But people are funny, aren't we? People are funny, and we we do silly things sometimes. And I think it all boils down to an uncertainty, maybe a fear, an anxiety. I don't know what label you want to put on it, but whatever it is, it's a thief, right? Because it steals right there. You're making progress. Don't stop. It's like riding a bicycle, guys. I don't know if anybody nowadays learns to ride bicycles much, but when I was a kid, Michael, when you were a kid, we all probably learned. Did you learn how to ride a bicycle?
Oh yeah, I rode my bike all over the place. It was the only way if you wanted to get somewhere. Mommy and Daddy couldn't take you there; they wouldn't drive you, so you had to ride a bicycle.
Yeah, we're from the generation of latchkey kids, right? So we got home from school, and the only thing we could do is play ride our bikes and play outside with other neighbor kids. Probably that's what I did. Mom and Dad would get home eventually, and then I knew that when the street lights came on, that was time for me to get my butt home. Because if I waited too much longer after that, it was going to come along with a spanking or something, and I didn't need that in my life. I already had enough of that. So we're from a little bit of a kind of an old school, psychology when it comes to this thing that I'm referring to here with the bicycles. Is the thing about riding a bicycle, and everybody that knows how to ride a bicycle knows this, that once you get past the fear and uncertainty of, am I going to fall over and hurt myself, which is a natural thing. So if you got this fear going on, it's a natural thing. Okay. But you are here to develop skills that are unnatural, right? Right? Makes sense to me. This is not a natural thing. Not everybody's born with the gift to pick up the phone and just call people and, wham, bam, I got a deal. Okay. But the people who make lots of money in this business, they weren't born that way. They develop the skill. When you're on a bicycle, you learn to stay on the bicycle by, the first thing I wanted to do is they'd get me pushing and I'd start, and they'd say, pedal, pedal, pedal. And then, boop, there you go. You're done. But when you get past that fear and you stop freezing up and you keep pedaling, it's something about that momentum that keeps you moving forward and keeps you upright. It's like a physical law of science, I guess. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a doctor. I'm not a scientist. No, actually, I do have a degree in science, and it did me so good that I cannot explain to you why pedaling a bicycle and that forward momentum keeps you from falling over. But it's so true. And so the same principle applies when it comes to this business here with the seller conversations too. You've got to be able to stay upright, right? You got to be able to keep going. And how do you do that? You have to master the fear. You have to master the anxiety. You have to master all of that that concern and worry that you're going to fall down, and you have to somehow muster the courage to keep pedaling. Keep pedaling. That's the lesson. Keep pedaling. Keep pedaling. Don't stop. Don't give up. And many of you have already given up. I know, out there in the world, out there in this business, out there on YouTube and Periscope and wherever else all we are, which is a lot of places. Thanks for watching. Don't give up. Keep pedaling. You'll get there eventually. And if you have a coach, they're right there with you to help you. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to pass the offering plate right now. Anybody? I'm just teasing. My dad's a minister. So after he gets done saying something like that, he always passes a plate and people put money in it. I don't know why it doesn't work for me. Does anybody have any Captain Crunch? Okay. Well, let's talk about this seller call. The first stage in the seller call is what we call setting the agenda. Okay. Setting the agenda. Role play with me, somebody. You can be the homeowner and I'll be the guy calling. I'll take the heat. Who wants to role play? Michael unmuted. Michael's going to be the homeowner. Rock and roll, Michael. Hey, guys, did I ever share with you two what I do when somebody on one of my acquisitions teams gets a deal? How I celebrate it? Have you guys ever seen this?
No.
I'm going to do it for my mentees too.
Oh boy.
You see this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what this is?
It's a cowbell.
Oh yeah. You know why I do that, guys? Well, because if you've mastered these skills enough to get a deal, somebody ought to celebrate with you, right? Somebody ought to. And I'm just guessing nobody's ever rang a cowbell for you. I'm the only one. So, Michael, we're going to successfully get through this one, and then we're going to celebrate with the cowbell today. I'm going to set the agenda. That's the first stage. Then we're going to move into the second stage, which is what we call the qualification stage. And then there's a third stage after that, and it's the third and final stage, and it is the closing stage. Okay. Now, everybody's like, ooh, that sounds scary. How do we get to the closing? The closing is just a question. That's all it is. And it says something like this. Is that something that sounds comfortable for you, or probably not? That's the closing question. So that's what we're building up to. How hard is that? It's not like you're going to be, Houdini or whatever. You're not like one of the mentalists on AGT. I watch AGT. I don't know if you guys do. America's Got Talent. And I always love it when they have the mentalists on there that can read people's minds and tell them what they have in their pocket right now. It's like not anything close to that what we're doing. So we can definitely work our way up to such an easy, simple question. The closing question is this something that sounds comfortable for you, or probably not? That's really it. All right, but let's reverse and start at the very beginning of the conversation. We're talking about agenda. So the three stages are agenda, qualification, and then the closing question. Setting the agenda. Anybody here want to tell me, anybody want to unmute their microphone and tell me what the agenda is all about? Anybody brave enough this morning? Kelly.
Trying to figure out what their motivation for selling would be.
I consider that part of the qualification phase in stage 2.
I got you.
But yeah, you're thinking in the right way, Kelly. The agenda, the first thing that we do when we get on the phone is we set the agenda for the call with the homeowner. And it goes a little something like this. Michael, we're role playing. Ring, ring. Okay. You're the homeowner.
Hey, hello.
Yes. My name is Justin, and I'm calling about a property I saw on Zillow, 123 Apple Cart Way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I've got the right place?
Oh, yeah, you do.
What's your first name, sir?
My name's Mike.
Oh, Mike, I'm Justin.
Hey, hi, Justin.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I'm a real estate investor and I'm looking for my next investment property. And I saw this one on Zillow. I thought I would give you a call and ask you a few questions. You could ask me a few questions. And if it doesn't seem like it's going to work out for you, it's okay at any time just to tell me no. We can just be as brutally honest with each other as we want to be. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I imagine.
Boom. That's it. That's it. You set the agenda. I set the agenda. Is that easy? Now, what have I accomplished here, guys? One, I've broken the ice. Number two, I've sounded professional. Like I'm a professional here. I'm not just some Joe Blow calling about setting or about getting information on a property. I called, I said, hi, my name is Justin. I'm a real estate investor. I told them who I am, right? Some of you are hung up on the concept that, hey, I don't know if they know that I'm not going to be living there and if they know that somebody else is going to be. Yes, you told them in the first sentence, I'm a real estate investor, right? So if later in the conversation they bring up and they say, hey, are you going to be living there or somebody else? This is a great point because you've already set them up to answer this question. You'll giggle a little bit. You'll say, no, Mike, I'm not going to be living there. I'm a real estate investor and I'm going to put some good people in there and I'm going to make some money, but I want to also solve your problem. Does that sound reasonable, Mike?
Sure.
See how easy that became because I set the agenda. If you fail to set the agenda, which is real simple, and I'll go over it again. If you fail to set the agenda, you then cripple yourself basically when it comes to responding to objections and attitude. Okay. If you haven't set the agenda, you've got no basis to control this conversation. You better set the agenda. So let's go through the agenda one more time, me and Mike. Excuse me. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Justin. I'm calling about a property I saw on Zillow. It's 123 Apple Cart Street.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I have a property there.
Oh, okay. Okay. I got the right place. All right. Yeah. Well, hey, I'm a real estate investor. My name is Justin.
Okay.
And I'm looking for my next investment property. And so, like I said, I saw this one on Zillow and it interested me and I wanted to call you because I'd like to ask you a few questions about it. You can ask me a few questions. And if at any point during our conversation, you feel like maybe I'm not the right fit for you, it's okay for you to say no. You can just be blunt with me and just tell me no. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. That's okay.
Boom. I'm done. That's it. That's the agenda. Okay. That is going to save my butt during the objection phase, if there is one. And sometimes they have these objections. Well, are you going to be living in there? That's not really objection, is it? But they want to know, and you get nervous when they start asking questions, don't we? Oh no, they're asking me questions. See, here's the thing too, guys, relax, because you've been watching videos on YouTube for 3-4 years now, right? I'm being facetious a little, but a lot of us have, maybe longer. And so we know more. I'll just be honest. You know more, Colin, in your nervous condition, in your nervous state of mind, you still know more than they do. So relax. It's okay. You don't have to sweat it. You're not calling Albert Einstein here. You're calling just normal people. and chances are, in most cases, you're the most intelligent person on the topic on the call. So don't get nervous. I'm going to say something my dad says. Don't get nervous in the service. Relax, breathe a little bit. I'll give you a couple tips too that have helped me with the phone. Recording myself. Okay. The first several calls are just dress rehearsal, guys. You're going to bumble and stumble. It's okay. we can, with automated REI, we can produce leads and go through some and blow some, because there's more. We can get more on the super cheap. Okay. So don't sweat that. Go to dress rehearsal, blow a few attempts, mess it up, but record yourself. If you can, figure out a way to record yourself. Get a call recorder app on your phone. If you're using cell phone, you can use other software, things like Vumber, Vumber. I'm not an affiliate or anything. I just used it before. Vumber, you can record yourself, because when you listen back to yourself, you learn what not to do again, what not to say again, or how to maybe not say it in that way. Because all this is you going into the conversation with a plan and with a confidence, and being relaxed a little, and being able to, do what you need to do. You need to get through this conversation and make some money. And there's nothing about that you need to be ashamed of. Let me see if I'm going to see if I've shared this. I'm just going to check real quick, guys. No, I don't think I shared it. That's okay. Well, that's setting the agenda. Setting the agenda. Yep. Keeping yourself on track, getting off on the right foot, starting the conversation out right. Does anybody want to switch roles with me and be the caller? All right. The second stage. Don't everybody jump at once. All right. The second stage, after we set the agenda, is to move into the qualifications. This is the stage of qualification. Now, remember, they are selling something, right? They're trying to sell a house, or they're trying to sell a rental plan on a house. So they are sellers. You are calling as a buyer, a real estate investor. You just told them, looking for your next investment deal. So in the qualifications section, what we're going to do is we're going to act like buyers, because that's what we are. And we're going to ask some good buyer type questions. You might want to take notes. What's the first thing that we want to know? Kelly already alluded to it. The first thing we want to know when conversing with this homeowner or seller during the qualification stage. I just said I'm a real estate investor looking for my next property deal. I saw this one on Zillow. I thought I'd give you a call. It looked interesting. I wanted to ask you a few questions. You could ask me a few questions. And if you don't like it, you could fire me right then. Does that sound fair? He said, yes. Now, what's the very next question I'm going to ask?
Why do you want to sell?
Bingo. You got it, man. This house looks like a lovely house, Mike. I saw it online, like I was sharing with you, and I'm just curious, how long have you lived there, and why would you be selling?
Well, I've lived in it for about 10 years. I've got a problem, though, unfortunately. I just divorced my wife, and she's moving to California. And unfortunately, we've got this huge mortgage payment that we've got to make, and I'm not sure how we're going to do it. I can't afford the payments. I'm afraid I'm going to go into bankruptcy, and you know how that is. You're going to ruin all your credit. So I'm looking for somebody to see if they can keep me from going bankrupt. Someone can buy my house. I don't have to deal with that situation. Now, you're a real estate investor. Is that something you can do?
Now, check out what Mike is doing. Mike is laying it all out there for me. He's being easy. He's being so easy for me. He laid out his motivation. Okay, the first question that I want to know is why, how long does he live there? Why is he wanting to sell? That's how I like to phrase it. And no matter what he says, let's just take what he said there word for word, or he could have said, I'm just tired. It's time to move, or whatever he says. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a little bit further, but I'm also going to use this opportunity as a bonding moment. Okay. This sounds complicated, but it's not. Go ahead and kind of repeat some of that, Michael, and let's jump right back into role play, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
All right. Well, I've got this house located up in Plattsburgh that unfortunately I've got to sell. One of the reasons is because me and my wife just got divorced. And it looks like that my wife is going to be taking off to go to California here anytime soon. The problem is that we're going to have to be paying mortgage payments on a house that's too big for us.
Wow, Mike, man, that's a big story. I can tell you that I've got a buddy that just went through the same thing. It sounds like, and it really, it can be tough. And those payments that you were talking about, they could really eat you alive, can't they?
Oh yeah, they're terrible.
You see how I didn't just go right to the next question? Like, I paused for a moment, I acknowledged what he said, and I related to him with a story of a buddy of mine that went through this same kind of thing just recently and how tough it can be. You see how I'm bonding with Mike now? Do you think Mike maybe likes me a little more now than he did 30 seconds ago?
Hopefully he does.
He said he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not just a telemarketer now. I'm a human. Okay. I'm not trying to teach people how to be telemarketers. I want you to call as a professional human. Okay. Call as a professional human. Now, I'm bonding with him. I'm bonding a little. Now, those 2 payments, man, that can be so tough. Now I know why, don't I? I do know why he wants to sell. So I got the answer to question number 1. Question number 2, Mike, I think I understand why you're wanting to sell now. It makes sense to me, but tell me a little bit about timing. You wouldn't be interested in doing something right now, would you? Because I'm kind of looking for something right now.
No, I'm looking to see what you can do. I mean, I don't know what kind of experience you have in doing this kind of stuff. I'm not
being
sure.
a real estate investor, I want to buy your house, Mike.
Okay. So what kind of experience do you have doing it?
Oh, well, that's all I do. That's what I do for a living.
Okay.
If I could buy your house today, would you want to sell it today?
Show me how. Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah, sell it to me.
Okay.
All right. Let's pause the role play. All right. So I just asked a simple question. First, I asked him how long he wanted to live there. This is the qualification stage. I asked him how long he lived there and why he'd be wanting to sell. He shared with me a little bit. I bonded with him. I related to him for a moment. We had a moment. And then I asked him about timing. I understand why you want to sell. You wouldn't want to be doing something about this today, would you? Because I'm interested in doing something pretty quick. What am I asking about there? And why is that an important question? Anybody?
You're asking about his urgency.
Yeah.
That will kind of dictate what, how motivated and what kind of a deal you're going to be able to get on him.
Yeah. Mike kind of threw me for a loop because he started out. Now, what I'm really trying to do during this phase, guys, is I'm trying to judge that motivation level, like Kelly said to begin with. And I put it on a scale of 1 to 10, like my mentor teaches me. Now, when he started on the phone call, when we started this role play, where was Mike? Was he at a 2, which is a horrible motivation level? Not very good, not motivated much at all. Or was he a 10, which is like he just definitely super motivated? When we started the role play, where did he start?
I think he started at like about a 5, but then he moved to 8 or 9 or something. When
Man, I think so too, Kelly. I think he started out at like a 5, but then I thought he got super hot. I thought he went to like a 10. But then I started asking him questions about the timing, right? I said, you wouldn't want to do something about this today, would you? Because I'm looking to do something pretty quick. And now what happened to his motivation level? Where's he at now all of a sudden after this question? He was at a 9 or a 10. Yeah, Michael is saying he went boop, now he landed somewhere around a 6 or a 7.
yeah,
Right. So you see how the ebb and flow of this conversation is kind of working. Okay, well, during this qualification stage, I've already found out why he wants to sell, but now I get the sense he might not be, as much as he needs to sell so badly, he might not be that motivated because he doesn't seem like he really is in a hurry to do anything. So I'm a little confused because in the first question, he told me the payment was eating him up. But then in the second question, he didn't seem like he was in too much of a hurry. So he's kind of gone, but he's still somebody I'm interested in talking to because he's not a 2 or a 3, is he? So if they're a 2 or a 3, what am I going to do? What do I do in those cases with a 2 or a 3 on the motivation scale of 1 to 10?
Have a wonderful day. I'm glad we talked.
Oh, I wish you the best of, yeah. I wish you the best of luck today. I wish you a great day. Have a great day. And that's how I say it. Oh, I wish you to have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Because, me hoping they're going to have a great day, I don't know what that's worth, but I'll definitely just wish they do. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make a commitment to have a lot of hope for a great day for you, but I wish you have a good day. What a jackass. No, that's just me, guys.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So if he's a 2 or a 3, I'm getting off the phone. But see, Mike in this role play is somewhere around a 7 or an 8, I would say. He started out at 10. By the way, since we're kind of going a little bit in depth here, I don't want to drag this out forever, but we're going in depth a little bit. When a prospect on the phone, when you sense that they're at a level 10, is that the most dangerous prospect or what? It really is. See, Michael's the most dangerous prospect right now. He's really giving me a tough interview. It sounds like he's laying down, but honestly, it's kind of a tough interview because he started out at a 10. I can't get no more motivated than this. The only way for him to go is down, which is where he's going. He's getting less interested the longer we talk. That's the danger of someone that's a 10. But the reality is, I think we're going to be able to pull it off. I will stay in the saddle with Mike because he's a 7 or an 8, even though he was a 10 and he went down. But now let's get back into the role play. Now I know why he's selling, and I know a little bit more about the timing. Okay. He's not going to let me know that he's in a hurry, but I'm pretty sure he's in a hurry. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still in a hurry. The story he told me makes it sound like he's ready to do something pretty quick if I can make it not interfere with his life too damn much. All right. So
I asked the question, Justin. I asked that question because that's one of the fears of why I'm giving you this one-on-one. If someone's going to ask me, oh, how much experience do you have? Have you done this before? And it's like, I'm not sure how to answer that. I'm brand new at this game. So
yeah,
how to handle that objection.
Yeah. I have a couple things to say about that. One is you're not going to have a lot of people ask you that. Okay. people are a little bit more self-centered than maybe you're giving them credit for. When they pick up the phone and you introduce yourself as a real estate investor looking for your next investment property, case closed. 99%, 99.8% of the time, case closed. They took you at your word. Boom. That's what it is. That's who he is. I just want to sell this house. Let's talk about me and my problems. They're not concerned about your experience level. Now, if you were calling as an old school sales guy and you were pitching the benefits, the feature function benefit, you ever heard that?
Oh, yeah.
You go to the car lot and they pitch the feature and the function and the benefit. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at this car. It comes with the brand new power windows. It lowers the window in the hot summertime so you don't have to sweat so much in a hot car. Working that thing like that. Isn't that nice? Doesn't that make you feel good? That's the old, you're pitching something. But in this call, you're not pitching anything really. You're just calling like a doctor, and you're going to ask some questions. They're going to ask you a few questions, and you're going to, they're going to be able to tell you no, but you're going to get to the closing question. 99 times out of 100, no one's ever going to ask if you have experience, what your resume is. Okay. So, and another thing about that too is, one, they're more concerned about their problems, but two, if they do ask you that, nothing in the world wrong with saying, well, I am 35 years old and I've lived in a lot of houses. I've rented a lot of houses. I even bought a house once, and I consider myself a real estate investor now, and I'm looking for my next property deal. Does that sound fair? Does that disqualify me?
Yeah, that's a good way of going about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're not hiding anything. I don't need anyone to lie for me. I just want you to call and be honest, but go through the stages here so you can control the conversation. So the same thing when I was saying earlier about the objection of people asking you, hey, is this something you're going to live in? Are you going to live here? I'm confused. Are you going to live here or is somebody else going to live here? Oh, no, I'm not going to live there. Like I told you, I'm a real estate investor and I'm going to put some good people in there. I'm going to make some money. How do you make money? I get that question. Well, how do you make money? Oh, it's easy. It doesn't cost you anything, Mr. Homeowner, but I do make money from my buyer. I'm a real estate investor and I'm looking to put some good people in here that'll love the place and take care of it and take care of the maintenance and the payment every month on time. And I'm going to make a little money off of them. And I'm also looking to solve your problem in the process. Does that sound reasonable? Or probably not. So you see, I'm just being as honest. I'm as honest and right as rain. I'm not deceiving anybody, am I? So you don't have to be concerned about, a lot of people are concerned about getting on the phone. What if I get into this coaching program? What if I get onto the group and then I start learning how to do this phone call? I feel like my conscience gets to me. Like, I've never done this before, and I don't want them to feel like I'm lying to them, like I'm some kind of something I'm not. Okay. You're not lying to anybody. And number two, it's your perception of yourself is a little lower than it should be. Okay. These people have a damn ad on Zillow. They're looking to sell a house. All you got to do is pick up the phone. You are a real estate investor. Wholesaling is a real estate investment technique, right? Lease options is a real estate investment technique performed by real estate investors, whether they're rich or poor. It does not matter. It's a real estate investment. You're not lying. That's my point. Okay. Enough of that. I beat that one to death. Sorry.
No, that's good. That
was a great question, man. Super good question, Mike. You got any more questions about that kind of thing or anything?
No, that was one of my things that kind of scared me a little bit,
Yeah.
No.
I understand, man. And it
Jumped
scares a
under the
lot of
bridge, so,
people, but
yeah.
there's no reason, when you realize the conversation that I'm teaching is just 100% as honest as it can be. And if anybody asks you a question, honesty is the best policy. Remember, Mama said that. My mama, I love my mama very much. What'd you say, Kelly?
I was just wondering if I could kind of ask a question, or
Yeah.
or I guess it isn't a question; it's more of a statement. Excuse me. If I get to sniffling too bad, I'll mute my mic. That deal we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
You were talking about agenda. Well, this is before. I had this deal in the pipeline before you and I had talked.
Yeah.
And as far as building that agenda, I was being. I just asked. I knew the lady wanted to sell the house, and I just kind of, talked to her. But I really tiptoed around what was going on because, she's reeling from the death of her son and what have you.
Right.
And so I wanted to stay away from that ambulance chaser kind of mentality, if you will. And she just said, well, when are you looking to buy? And I just said, whenever you are. I know you've got a lot of, things on your plate. And so I never really told her I was an investor.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to mislead her, but she never asked, and I didn't tell, I guess. And I don't know if that's going to be a factor, because I know she's not going to be a candidate for subject to or lease option. I know that's not going to happen.
That's okay.
So, I mean, does it really matter, depending on whether I do like a double close or an assignment? Or
no,
I feel a little weird about it, but like I said, I really tiptoed around the fact because I didn't know if it was too soon to even ask her about the house, with the whole estate.
Yeah. That's a great question too, Kelly. And I've had a lot of people, not a lot, but I've had several others ask similar questions over the last several years. And I've had some experience with that myself. And here's what I've discovered. And I can't speak for everyone, and I cannot speak for every family, but typically after the death of a loved one, the first thing they want to do is get that fucking money.
Right. Okay. I just wanted
I've heard people say, well, I think we should give them a couple, 2 or 3 weeks to mourn and grieve. Yeah. And during that 2 or 3 weeks, they hired a realtor, they had an estate sale, they liquidated the furniture and the cars, and they emptied the bank accounts, and they emptied the safe, and they sold the guns, and they shit, you're late to the party.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. You know
what I mean? So yeah, don't let that, if you're concerned and you have a personal conversation with someone in that scenario, it's okay to just say, hey, I know you just went through something pretty major. I would like to make an offer on this house. Would it be okay if I went ahead and did that? Or do you need me to give you 2 weeks or 1 week? You tell me, and I'll have an offer in your hand that day.
I got you. Okay.
It's okay. And then now it's okay to even say, hey, and by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I'm a real estate investor and I'm looking to get an investment property.
Okay.
So that's why we're talking.
Okay.
It's okay to say that. You haven't messed anything up, man. That's why I want to reassure you. You haven't messed it up.
I just want to be as ethical and everything. I mean, I'm just like that. I
know. You got a conscience.
Yeah, right. I do.
And you were raised with some manners, right?
Yep.
Like back in the day when somebody died, and now the kids receive the property, or maybe a child died and the mom and dad have the property. We didn't go over and make offers on the property that afternoon. We baked a damn casserole and took it over to their house.
Exactly. Yep. I was raised the same way.
That's the difference between where we came from and where we live today.
Right.
Now, I don't know. I went to a funeral of a loved one. This is kind of off the subject, guys, but we're live Q&A. We're just talking. I went to a funeral for a loved one recently, not horribly recently, but fairly recently. And I knew what I was talking about, what I just said. I knew that then, but after the funeral, we were invited to come back to the family home and have a meal. and I could not, my jaw hit the table. I could not believe I did not even want to go in the house. I got there, I did not even want to go in the house because every other family member was in the house like a fucking blue light special at Kmart.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. Fighting over shit. Yeah.
Grabbing and grabbing and grabbing and fucking grabbing and yelling and screaming. That is that's 2019. Okay.
That stuff will make you sick to your stomach, especially when it's relatives grabbing.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, here's the thing. You can do the offer, you can make the offer, and you can make it in a polite manner. You can make it right away, but you can do it with consideration and politeness. Okay. Now, the last property deal that I did like that was an ugly house deal, and the mom and the dad had both passed, and the kids were like, I mean, they were just get that money, and I'm talking about people in their 60s, man. These kids were in their 60s, and it was like taking a kid into the candy store and watching them just say, hey, grab whatever you want.
That's
it was
terrible.
crazy.
Yep.
But even then, I made the offer right away, and it still took me 2 weeks to close them. So, you know, maybe they were busy grabbing shit.
Right.
You thought they was busy mourning. They weren't busy mourning or grieving.
No.
They were busy grabbing shit. And man, I know that hurts me down here too, dude. I was raised better than that. I can tell you that much. Like I said, we would take mama would bake a casserole. You know, something about a casserole hits a spot when something tragic happens in other people's lives. I don't know, I guess. Or a pie. They'd make a pie.
Food. Comfort food, for sure.
I wouldn't worry about that stuff nowadays, man.
All right, thank you.
You know what, Justin?
Yeah.
It almost sounds like Black Friday.
What's that?
Black Friday.
Yeah, like
Right
yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Right, where they're going in the stores and just kicking each other's asses.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. That's what it's like. Yeah.
So,
So
what?
go ahead.
I wanted to say to Michael, from my experience from calling, I've had people ask me how I get their number, and they were kind of rude, but I didn't take it personal, because I started thinking, next, because I want to get a deal. And then there's people that let's see, Justin, you hit the nail on the head when you said how did you get into this? Because I had a gentleman ask me that, how did you get into this? And I said, well, it's just this year, and it's really good,
Right.
and I enjoy it.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Enjoy it.
And people trust you more when you're just straight up honest with them.
That's right.
Like I asked this guy, how long you been doing this? He said, this is my first time. Shit, this is his first time. He ain't going to sucker me out of nothing. He don't even know what he's doing. So I trust this guy. Let's talk. My barrier, just like the walls of Jericho. Boom, down. I'm not threatened by you. You're not a slick guy. You haven't been doing this 20 years and you know how to manipulate people.
That's true.
Thanks, Janet, for that information.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, what's going on, man?
My name is Rick. Are these pretty open Q&A? Like,
Yeah,
whoever
welcome.
wants to grab the mic.
Yeah, welcome, Rick. Where you calling in from, man?
In Los Angeles, sir.
Hey, welcome from the West Coast. We got quite a viewership out there on the West Coast, man. We're thankful for everybody that gets up early to do this.
Got up Got up early just for you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Hey,
What's
I had
going
a question come around with making calls. How do you get paid, and does the total amount you get paid come out of the price of my home in the end?
Okay, if you're the homeowner,
The homeowner was asking me that. He's like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to have a down payment. I get that. But how do you get paid? And do I have to take what you get paid out of the price of my home if we come up with a term that makes sense?
okay, yep. Answer's real simple. Mr. Homeowner, I get paid when the tenant buyer that I put in here invests into my program. And so I collect money from them. Now, here's how I put it on paper. Here's how I justify it on paper. You and I, Mr. Homeowner, we agreed to $100,000. I'm going to set the price for my tenant buyer at 105. And so when they give me money, I'm going to deduct it off of that so it doesn't end up coming out of your pocket. I raised the price a little bit for them. Does that make sense, Mr. Homeowner?
Gotcha. Nice. I think I heard you mention it that way in a video as well. So,
Yeah.
so that's pretty much how you do it every time. You will add the dollar figure to the end. That's going to be the price, whatever
Yeah.
you want.
Absolutely, Rick. Yeah, every single time, man. Every single time. And I'm not embarrassed that I'm going to be making money. Okay, because remember, I'm a real estate investor. I've had guys say, callers say, hey, I'm not sure how you make money. And I mean, why would I let you make money on my house?
Right. Gotcha.
Well, they might not be too motivated if they're doing that. Okay, but still my response is the same. Well, yes, sir. I am in the business to make money. I'm a real estate investor, and of course I do that for the profits. And so I will be making money. Fortunately, sir, that's not going to be coming out of your pocket. That's something that the tenant buyer pays. And I will raise the price a little bit to compensate for that, so that you don't end up having any charges now or later.
Gotcha. One other question real quick while we're here.
Yeah.
I actually, when I was out collecting some tenant buyers, I had a tenant buyer ask me, let's say the property has an agreed price, but over the course of 24 months, the property values have raised significantly. Can the seller at the end of the option refuse to sell?
No, they cannot. Okay, here's where the skinny is on this. The tenant buyer, they can walk if they want to walk.
Right.
The seller, once he's agreed to sell at a certain price, he's agreed to sell at that price. And they have the exclusive option to buy at that price for 24, 36 months or whatever it is. So the seller is locked in. Now, I don't know, here's what I'll say to a homeowner. I'll say, Mr. Homeowner, I don't really know what will happen. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see the future. But what I can tell you is that we can come up with what we believe the house will be worth in 36 months or 24 months. And we can go with that dollar figure as long as it's reasonable, but the house will still need to appraise for that when they go to purchase. And so if you're overpriced and the appraisal comes in too low, then you'll have to do something with the price in order to sell the house. Does that make sense, Mr. Homeowner?
Gotcha. Nice. Okay.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Oh,
Rick?
totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
For sure. I was just
Great.
surprised that a tenant buyer actually asked me that. I'm like, oh, they're actually thinking out the box a bit. So.
Yeah. You should close them. Boom, close them. Hey, this is, you're looking for what? What are you looking for? You're looking for a property. You're looking for something you can own. Great. If you don't do a deal like this, what are you going to do?
Yeah, for sure.
Get them in there.
I'm making calls as soon as we're done here. Right. Thanks.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for joining us today.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
awesome to meet you.
You as well.
I don't think we're going to be able to finish the role play. We'll skip through it pretty quick. We'll finish the role play, me and Mike, because we've been here for an hour and I don't want to keep you guys all day. I could do this all day though, guys. And in fact, I do this all day. All right. So we found out in the qualification, we set the agenda. Now we're doing the qualification. We found out how long he wanted to live there, how long he's lived there, why he wants to sell. We found out a little bit more about his timing, urgency. And now I'm going to ask him, hey, Mike, I see you're asking, what are you asking for this property and what do you think it's worth? How did you come up with those numbers, Mike?
Well, I got it appraised. Well, actually, no, I didn't get it appraised. It came from the tax rolls.
I see.
Since I'm trying to sell it, I want to get a good idea of what it was worth. So I looked it up on my county records and it said, oh, it's appraised for about $150,000. So if I can get that much, that would be perfect. But, you know, if I have to take a $10,000 hit, I mean, they're going to kill me.
Mike, you're killing me, man. You're the easiest guy in the world to role play with. You just keep giving me the best answers in the world. Like I'm all over this deal now because most of the time the property tax records are low, right? And that's what he wants. So I'm just like, oh, wow, I'm super interested in this. Okay, so now I'm finding out a little bit about price. I'm finding out, you know, what he thinks the property's worth, what he's asking for it and why he came to that price. So now I've found out just through these 3-4 questions, I've found out a whole bunch about Michael, about his situation, about his motivation, about his timing, about the money. And then I'm going to slip over into the close. Okay. I'm going to say something like this. Mike, like I said, I'm a real estate investor looking for my next property deal. And when I saw this one online, it really stood out to me and I wanted to call you. I'm glad I did because I would like to maybe rent this from you for a couple years before I buy it at your full price. Is that something that would be comfortable for you or probably not?
I'm not sure. How does the program work? I mean, what are you going to do? Put somebody in the house? Are you going to live in it or is somebody else going to live in it?
Of course, I'm not going to live in that house, Mike. I am a real estate investor. So I've got some good people. And I want to put some good people in there. And I'll be honest with you, Michael, I'm going to make some money. But I also want to solve your problem. And I want you to be able to get what you need out of this deal, too. Does that seem reasonable?
Oh, yeah, it's very reasonable.
If
now,
I were go ahead.
You're going to put people in there. How are you going to make sure that they're not going to damage the house?
Oh, Michael, if I were able to guarantee the maintenance on the house and the payment and make sure that everything was set up properly and comfortable for you, would that be good enough for you or maybe not?
That sounds good. As long as the property stays in good condition. Yeah, I could work with that.
Okay, great. Here's what I'd like to do. Give me your email address. I want to email you a written offer.
Okay.
Super.
Okay.
Out of role play. Wait a minute.
I think I see the cows across the meadow.
Hey guys, talking about cows and meadows. Hey, thank you by the way for playing with me there, Michael. You did a great job. Cows and meadows. Go to YouTube today and type in the search bar. Man calls cows with trombone. Okay, this guy gets out in a field. It's empty. And he starts playing his trombone and cows just start running from like, I don't know where the hell they're coming from. They just run off. And they get all lined up like it's a concert. It was crazy. Go watch it. It's like 4 minutes. It will change your life. Okay.
I saw it. That was awesome.
It is awesome, Kelly.
It is.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my, half of my kingdom for a fucking trombone and some cows. I want to do this.
For sure.
Oh my goodness. Hey guys, I love you. I'm going to sign off here today unless anybody has any more questions or anything. Good to see Ryan on here, R-Dub. Good to see Matt and Elizabeth and Kelly and Michael and Janet and Rick and everybody out there in the Ethernet watching us. Hey, God bless you. And thank you for watching us. Remember, we're here for you. You don't have to do this alone. There's free training over at realestatewholesalersclub.com. If you want to wholesale pretty houses, this is the place to be. If you want to generate leads on the cheap and easy and on demand on your schedule, oh my gosh, we've got your super special sauce. You just need to come pick it up. Hey guys, thank you for coming. Anybody got any questions? Anything else? Anything? Everybody's heart and mind clear?
We are good here.
Okay, man. Hey, thanks. Hey, go get some more sleep if you can, man. I mean, you look great, but you said you only had a couple hours, and that made me feel like, oh, if I only had a couple hours, I'd be toast.
Yeah, that's the night shift. So working the night shift.
Well, you got to work tonight too?
Of course.
Oh,
it's my weekend to work.
Well, you better get a nap then, dude.
Yeah, I'm off.
Hey, God bless you guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Real Estate Wholesalers
Thanks,
Club.
Justin.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Kelly. Thanks, Janet. Thanks, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you next time.